Your actions have changed the world.
Hello, and welcome back to Hitman 3 and the trending contracts. And today's contract, One Step Closer, set in Mendoza. And as always, the contract ID is currently up on the screen for anyone who wishes to have a go, and has been supplied to us today courtesy of Activus Kickstand. So today's briefing: meet with Diana to get a briefing. This is a big one. So wife and important associates that they have dirty past need to go as well. Have a good time, 47. I think some of that may have been lost in translation. So today we have 5 targets available to us, the 5 most prominent people on the map. We have no stipulations on how we go about dispatching them or what we wear whilst we do so. So for today's challenge, we will be starting undercover in the tasting room, and we will be bringing with us a vial of lethal poison and a syringe of lethal poison. The syringe is not strictly necessary. So right from the start and off the bat, we are going to leave the bar unattended for the moment, make our way into the storeroom and retrieve a bottle of Pinot Noir, and then return back to our station at the bar here. We're going to place our bottle, we're going to take up station, and if you look on the stairs you can just see our first target arriving as we speak. So we're going to poison the glass of wine, and when Diana and Tamara arrive, we are going to offer Tamara a glass of Pinot Noir.
A glass of red, please.
Certainly, ma'am. May I? Hello. Why don't you give this a try? Yes, ma'am. I managed to find a bottle of our 2006 Pinot Noir, inspired by wines from the Our Valley. Medium-bodied and fruit-forward, with an aroma of cherries and raspberry. It's to die for.
Pinot, you say? Maybe just one glass. Need to keep my... What?
So, one target taken care of. We're going to get out of here before anyone starts pointing the finger at us. And we are now going to head down to the grape fields. And our second target, who is the chief winemaker, or the head of the grape fields, it's the guy with the epic moustache. I can't think of his name. The name Black keeps going into my head, but I'm sure that's the other assassin. So the gentleman that we are looking for with the epic moustache is just outside of the production area here, and we're going to walk up behind him and trigger a phone call between him and Don Yates. And with that phone call now triggered, we can make our way back along the walkway here, along the edge of the vine field, until we come to a water pump. And we're going to hop over the fence and we're going to wait by this water pump. Now this does take a little while, as our target takes his time getting over here, but when he finally arrives we can turn on the water pump just as he turns into the next row of vines. We're going to turn off the pump again as well, so we don't attract anyone else's attention. And when our target comes along to investigate, we're going to break cover, sneak up behind him, render him unconscious. There we go. And then we're going to drag him around the corner to where there is an awaiting crate before we break his neck, just so that there's no one too close, because when you snap people's necks it can be heard, especially if you do it from the standing position. So once we have eliminated our second target, we can dump him in the crate provided, and we're now going to retrace our steps back up to the tasting room, and then we're going to veer off around the tasting room, because our next 3 targets will all be located up at the villa. and we're going to take the long but short route. It's a shortcut, so we don't have to go through any frisks or past any enforcers. We can just run all the way, the long way round to our right. That's it, not left. And we can make it straight up to the villa. So once we get here, our next two targets will be Mr. and Mrs. Yates, and they are both relatively easy to get to. So we're going to make our way to the front of the villa, climb up the drain pipe, across the roof, and over onto the Yates' bedroom balcony. Now Mrs. Yates will come up first, followed a moment or two later, or a minute or two later, by Mr. Yates. Now sometimes he can be just a few seconds behind her, maybe 10-20 seconds, and sometimes he could be a minute, maybe two. All depends on their routines. Now for me today, Mr. Yates takes about 2 minutes to come up here, as he's in the middle of something else whilst we're killing his wife. So once Mrs. Yates arrives, you can either throttle her, shoot her. I intend to inject her with some lethal poison, as I'm going to punish Don Yates, there we go, by letting him discover his dead wife before eliminating him with the sapper's axe from the wall here. So there is Don Yates downstairs. He will be making his way up here momentarily. So we're going to take up position back out on the balcony and await his arrival. He's going to come up the stairs and spot his wife, and he's going to move in for a closer look to see if she's okay. And at that point we can then open the doors to the room, and we're just going to throw our axe at Don Yates's head. Something like this. What a shot. You should try for being a pitcher in baseball 47. So because Mr. Yates is not an accident kill, we are going to hide him in the closet provided. We're also going to hide Mrs. Yates just to save complications. And we're going to retrieve our sapper's axe, which should be, there it is, right on the floor in front of us. And we're going to throw that over by the counter, over by the wall there, and then quickly run back out onto the balcony. And that's going to attract the attention of one of Mr. Yates's two guards. They're going to come up to investigate, and when they do, we can then render them unconscious and take their outfit. So here he comes now. We're just going to render him unconscious. We're going to leave his body where it is. We don't need his body. We do want his gun and his outfit. And then we're going to make our way downstairs to where the lawyer is, and the lawyer is in the room just off to the right at the foot of the stairs here. There he is. There is also an enforcer guard in the room, hence bringing the gun with us, because we're going to drop that gun outside the door, and then we're going to open the door and move away so that the guard sees the gun. And we're just going to casually make our way back upstairs while the enforcer guard collects up the gun and takes that down to the basement. So once he's past us, we can make our way down the stairs into the lawyer's office or bedroom. There's a couple of items in here we can use. Again, you can shoot him in the head if you so wish. I didn't bring a gun, so I'm going to use the briefcase to render him unconscious and get him out of the chair. And once again, as we've done so often, we're going to snap his neck. There we go. So that's all of our targets taken care of. Now, what I should have mentioned while we were upstairs, it would be a very, very good idea to grab the Yates' sports car keys. I forgot to do this, so I am now going to run back upstairs very quickly and grab the keys from the bedside table. So with that done, we are now ready to exit the level, and we're going to make our way out the front of the villa and straight over to the black convertible and out of the level. So there we go, one more trending contract taken care of. This was quite a fun one. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.